This is Kampong, Speu, Cambodia. It's interesting. First time I've been back in years. Now the year 2024. First time I was here was 2013, and only a few years before then, this was a land that time forgot. Still living as all Cambodians have lived for pretty much all human history. No running water, no electricity. Um, Everything done by hand, no bathrooms. It's a warm country, so no even real outhouses. The idea that you do that makes really no sense if you think about it's constantly dry and not really raining that much. People would work only 3 months out of the year, which was the rainy season. And when you grow rice, and the rest of the year, really not anything you could do. It's not going to rain, so you must husband water, you must husband your food, which only grows over a few months. And until they built factories around here, there's really nothing else you can do. But they've electrified Kampong Speu, like I said, about 20 years ago, maybe a little less. And in recent years, last 3-4 years or so, they've added running water. And the real reason why, which might be hard to see from here, so we may walk closer, is they're building factories, garment factories, and the real big one is a fruit factory. Someone who puts your fruit in your can or puts the fruit in a little plastic cup, well, there's a human being cutting that fruit for you, and it's going to be in a third world country where the labor is very cheap. Now, the interesting thing is, very cheap is a relative term, because this fruit factory has turned this subsistence farming village into a factory town in less than 20 years, where it's become pretty much unrecognizable to what I remember. It's changed how all my wife's family members really operate. Now they work on Sundays, they work 7 days a week. And there might be a good sight of the factory. You can see it comes better in my eyes than you can see there. Factories over there. But so that being said, the way this has changed life is because now people can make way more money because they figured out the factory, like Henry Ford. We don't want to pay people $150 a month, which is minimum wage, which a lot of people were willing to work. Let's pay them $600, 4 times more. But we're going to work them to death for that $600. And the strong survive, and the weak will just quit and leave. So now that brings in workers throughout Cambodia that will rent a room or something, which in a town like this would be $35 a month for a decent room with running water and electricity, which is a big deal considering there'll be parts of Cambodia that don't have this. They built a highway, the Chinese that is, that goes all the way to Sihanoukville from the capital. The idea was to ferry Chinese gamblers from Phnom Penh to Sihanoukville. And this highway has destroyed the ecosystem here. You cannot grow rice here anymore. The fields will be dry or they will flood when you don't want them to. And as a result, there goes the agriculture. That factory is the only thing that keeps everything going now. That is the whole game in town, is the factory. And it's not just locals, because the locals own all the land from years ago. So they have become landlords and business owners, selling to the factory workers. My father-in-law has a cool thing where he rents volleyball courts. So the factory workers can play volleyball. So, you can see with the cows behind me, it's not like everyone got rid of their cows. So my family did, because you don't need them to work the rice fields. So they're kind of useless. I'm not sure what work they do. Maybe they'll slaughter them for meat, which is usually they do after they work them in Cambodia. And so it's just Kampong Speu is totally different. Totally different now. The road has changed everything. You can build factories now because you got transportation. The factories give people work all year, 365 days in a year. The fields no longer work, so that means you got to go now work for the factory because the fields are not growing rice like they used to. The people who are poor subsistence farmers are now landlords. Everyone's houses, you would not see them like this. Everyone's upgraded their houses. Probably with the exception of my father-in-law, only slightly upgraded his house. And so it's just totally changed here in the countryside Cambodia. You would have, when I first visited, yes, it had electricity, but everyone still lived according as they always did. Subsistence farming, you had to collect rainwater in cisterns because there's no running water. You shower with a bucket. You clean dishes with a bucket. Pouring soap. Pouring soap is a whole technique so you can save water. Cooking with fire and being very careful with the wood because it's got to last all year. But now it's different. Now you got running water. Now you have electricity. Now people work, both husband and wife, 365 days out of the year. Yay, or grandpa will look after the kids all day. The kids go to schools. Schools aren't half bad. They learn some English and everything now. Just a different Cambodia. And I capture a moment in time. And sadly, I couldn't capture more moments in time to pass because cell phone technology wasn't quite there yet. So that's Cambodia for you.